So I was just like, no place to stay, no car, no job, no education. What do you have going for yourself? And say stuff like, you better not be talking to no other dudes, somebody better not be in your bed, I'm gonna show up at your apartment. Like, I've never wanted to fight someone so bad in my life. Hi, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Oshana Films. I am sitting at home. It is a little bit after 10 o'clock. I work for 10 o'clock, but I'm still at home because I have a flat tire. So this is a pretty stressful situation for me because I cannot afford to be late to work, okay? I can't, okay? I want to be a couple hours late, and I'm like, now I have to like stay at work late, come in early, that kind of thing to make up these kind of hours. So while I'm here, I'm just sitting here like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and talk about something else that's even worse than this situation. And that's why today Oshana films the reasons why I'm single. Basically going to be about all of my failed situationships and relationships over the past few years. And I'm gonna start with college because I mean, the high school relationship that I had wasn't really a relationship. We both knew that. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so I'm not gonna say any of these names, by the way, okay, because we're just not doing that. But if any of these people watch this video for whatever reason, they may or may not know it's about them. I don't care. So the first reason why I'm single. So I was a sophomore in college, and I was a little bit naive. Not a little bit. I was all the way naive because I was thinking that, you know, people are good, you know, like if I'm an honest person. Sorry, I'm using my phone tripod, and you know I can't sit still. So yeah, I was like a little bit naive, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm an honest person, hopefully people will be honest with me, that kind of thing. And yeah, no. So I started talking to this guy, and he was pretty popular on campus, and I was just, again, naive. So we started, you know, talking, or whatever you want to call that. But I asked him, I'm like, okay, so are you talking to anyone or dating anyone or, you know, with anyone, that kind of thing? And he was like, no. And I didn't even know he was lying. Like, he just said no. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, cool. So we, you know, we're talking or whatever. We hadn't really gotten to the point of going on dates, so it really wasn't nothing. But I don't remember how, but some way, somehow I got onto this girl's page, and he's like all over the page. Like, it ain't even like, oh, this, you know, a little friend, that kind of, it was like full-blown love kind of stuff. And I was just like, you just blatantly lied. Like, you all over this girl page, and you know, like, he's into it because he's like commenting and liking. So I'm like, this is your girl, like. And then I end up having class with the girl that semester. So I'm like, I go to class the next day, and I'm just like, your man is a liar. Like, he says drop him. Drop him. So reason number 2. This is the longest reason. This was about 2.5 years of my life, starting I think this was also in my sophomore year. I don't remember exactly the time frame, but I'm gonna try. So I was like talking to this dude, and I made it clear, you know, that I wanted a relationship, that kind of thing, and he said otherwise. So I was like, okay, you know what, cool. We're just not gonna do that. You know, I'm looking for a relationship. He's not looking for one. We're just gonna hang out, cool. Of course, that didn't happen. And I think I was also thinking like, okay, well, you know, he's doing this, we're doing this, maybe he's gonna want a relationship, that kind of thing. Don't do that. If he tell you he doesn't want a relationship, believe him, okay? I figured out it was that he wanted to be in a relationship at all. It was just he didn't want me because he was still in love with his ex-girlfriend. Like, completely still in love, and they end up getting back together. That's a relationship. You were in it, you were happy about it. So I'm like, what am I? Just so the next reason why I'm single. So this guy was completely different from any of the guys that I thought I liked. I normally, to my knowledge, like dark skin, bigger, not like huge, but I have dated like bigger guys. But like just, you know, nicely built, not too big, not too small, and dark skin. This man was tall, skinny, and light skinned with hazel eyes. And I was just like, you know, normally what I went for was like dark skin, so it surprised me. But what surprised me more was that he was actually interested in me. Why? Because I was battling self-esteem issues during that time. So I was just like, this man is too fine to like me. Like, too fine. And so anyway, we started talking or whatever. And I'm saying talking because none of these things actually led to anything. And it just is what it is. So, like, we were like in my dorm. We were laying down, chilling or whatever, watching a movie. And so I'm like, you know, caressing his little head. You know, we cool, we cool. And he's like, he wants to have a baby. And I was just like, with who and when? So I'm just like, what? He's like right now. I'm just like, you gotta go. I'm 20, a sophomore in college. Like, it ain't even like, you know, we're doing stuff and we're together and we just playing this thing out. It's just, you laying with me and he's talking about you want a baby. No. And then he was like, he's going to the military and he want me to come with him. I think it was like New York or something. I'm like, when did we get there? I don't know. Within the next year, he found someone to do that stuff with, had a kid, all that. And I'm like, God dang. And so it was like, because the baby was already born, I'm like, dang, he meant he wanted a kid like right now. I'm like, God. So the next reason why I'm single, y'all. So I had also started using dating apps. The dating app I used was POF, Plenty of Fish. Don't do it. Don't even do it to yourself, sis. So I was using Plenty of Fish and I ended up talking to this guy. As my best friend said in the best friend tag, I am easily annoyed. I don't remember what this dude did to me, but I was so annoyed with him and I'm just like, all right, you gotta go. This was like October-ish, whatever year it was. This is maybe my junior year. So I stopped talking to him. Then January comes around and my roommate, she was like, oh, I seen this guy, he was cute, he was on campus and he wanted to come smoke with me, whatever. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So like one day I was going to meet her on campus and I seen this fine ass boy, like, and he was light skinned, but he was like a little bigger, not huge, like just a little meat on him or whatever. And I was just like, dang, he fine. He was like, you know, hi, good morning, or how are you, something like that, when we were walking past each other or whatever. Like, and I was like, he got manners. So I go meet her or whatever, and she's like scrolling through her Instagram, and I'm telling her like, I just, you know, seen this fine boy, whatever. And so she was actually on Snapchat, and I'm like, I get a glimpse of this guy and I was like, that's him. She's like, what? This is the guy I was talking about. So we both met this guy 2 different times and we both thought he was cute. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, so she was like, okay, you know, he wanted to smoke. So let me just, you know, we make a plan or whatever and we gonna hang out, whatever. So, so me and her and our other friend at the time, we went to go meet him and his friends. So me and him ended up start back talking or whatever. So some red flags started to raise. He was living in a hotel. That's not even the problem. The problem is the hotel was like his cousin's. So at any given moment, I mean, what if y'all got in an argument and she kicked you out? And I know some of y'all are like, that wasn't his cousin. I'm like, it was. She had a whole boyfriend. But I just thought that was weird. So anyway, I just, you know, gave him a chance. So then I think I stayed over one night and he's gonna take me to school. I had a car, so I don't remember why he was even taking me to school anyway. And he was driving her car, like he didn't have his own car. Okay. No place to stay, really? No car? Okay. Then he didn't have a job either. He didn't have a job. So I'm like, I live on campus, I have a car, I have a job. What are you doing with your life? And I just, I let him have it because I'm like, you know what? He's in school, cool. So this was like, me and him were like, we started back talking again from like January to like March-ish. So like March comes around and it's like midterm time. And he's talking about he's feeling everything. And I'm just like, long story short, he dropped out. No place to stay, no car, no job, no education. What do you have going for yourself? And I was just like, how the hell did you fail everything? I've never experienced that with a human being, and I'm a super nerd. So I'm like, what do you mean you're failing? You failed something? So I was just like, okay, we can't talk no more. Like, you have no ambitions to do anything with your life, and I just thought that was so sad. So I'm like, I want no parts. I want no parts. So I had to dead that real quick. So the next freaking reason why I am single. I'm not even gonna act like this man wasn't fine. I'm not even gonna act like it. If there was a guide to describe exactly what I look for in a man, as far as, body type and skin color, teeth, money, job, all that, he was it. So I met him at Orange Crush. And Orange Crush is basically like the place where like a lot of college schools meet up in Tybee Island. And it's basically a big old party on the beach for a couple days. So he was in the military, so I have no idea why he was even there anyway, but it was a bunch of women, so of course him and his boys had to be there. So anyway, I met him because him and his friends had like came up to me and my friends, and it was really like he was trying to talk to my friend and this other guy was trying to talk to my other friend. And so I was just sitting there like the chopped liver that I am. So I was just like, okay, cool, And so later on that day, we were hanging out with them, and we had met some more people within their crew, and he wasn't there. So when he finally came back, he realized like there was this other guy trying to talk to my friend that he was trying to talk to, and it was like, bro, like I was trying to talk to her first, that kind of thing. And the other guy was like, nah, like I'm trying to talk to her, And it was like he was like way more serious and a little way too serious about it for someone that had all these little baby kids to worry about. But anyway, so after that, he was just like, I'm not gonna fight over no female or whatever. So he just left that alone. So later on, he ended up, me and him and this other guy, the same guy that, wanted my friend too, we ended up going to get food because she was upset, and for some reason that was what they decided was what we needed to do. So me and the boy, we started talking, like we were just talking, and I think he realized at some point like I should have been talking to her first, like, she's cool, whatever, like, and he, it wasn't like he just was straight trying to be attracted to me because of my body, because I mean my friend had a nice body, like, and I just have a normal, regular, I'm big up top, but I ain't got nothing in the back, and she was the complete opposite, and you know me. So I was completely fine with that because it is what it is, You're a boob guy, you're like me. If you're a butt guy, you might want to pass me. So that was that. So, but I think he realized, I should have been talking to her. So we were talking or whatever, and we actually ended up like talking or whatever. And so this man was like really whining and dining me. Like he made food for me, had some nice wine that I ain't drink, but it's okay. And we would hang out and stuff, like do real stuff. And it was like 3 months, I think, for the most part. And so then I was a girl. I still am. I want a real relationship. So I'm not about to just be laying down and, well, I won't say laying down. I'm not just about to be having sex with you. That's not what I wanted to do. So we hadn't done that. So later I realized like he started steering away from me, and I was just like, no, don't do that. Like, he starts to like go ghost, and I like, you know, ask him about it. He's like, no, you're still my boo, you're still my babe, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, okay. So anyway, he like basically, you know, we dwindled down or whatever. We probably seen each other like one more time after that. So then, and he met my friends and everything, and it was just like, oh, he's cute, he got a job, he in the military, you know, that kind of thing. And I was just like, bro, I was just like, you know, he has a lot going for himself. So coming from that other guy to him was like a big upgrade. So anyway, so yeah, he basically, you know, went ghost. And so like years down the line, he had like this questions thing on Instagram, you know, you can ask people questions. So I was like, why'd you go ghost on me? And long story short, the meme he sent me was basically saying, because I didn't have sex with him. And I'm like, I known you for 3 months. That's not really a long time to just be, you know, all up in my bed, but whatever. I had to like not block him, but I just deleted him off everything because I'm like, you're gross. Like, because I didn't have sex with you in those 3 months, I'm pretty sure you was doing whatever with whoever. Like, boy, if you're not in a relationship with this man and you're not not married, don't just have sex with him. Like, don't do that. This next situation, we were actually in a relationship, and we, you know, it was one of the best relationships. It was short, but it was the best relationship. Like, we went on dates, he paid for everything, he opened doors, and, you know, it was all good. But this was during the summer. So we started dating or whatever, and this was during the summer. And then so I go back to school in August, and things just started to change. Like, because we were friends for years before we started actually dating, and I knew his history as far as with women and their infidelities, like, well, one specifically, and that left him with some insecurities. So he became a little too, I don't know how to explain it. But he didn't trust me. And I didn't like that because I never gave him a reason not to trust me. So I felt myself not wanting to talk to him or whatever, and I had really liked him. And so we didn't really talk a weekend, and I kind of was like annoyed or whatever. And then there was one night, me and my friend was out, and then there was this guy out with us. It was like 3 in the morning, and we were out in the dorms, and I was like I was like recording this argument going on, because it was an argument about chicken nuggets, and it's still funny to this day because I'm like, bro, y'all was really down there arguing about some chicken nuggets. And I recorded it, and the guy says something in his own like video or whatever, and I didn't really, you know, pay it no mind. I posted my video, and so my boyfriend at the time was like, why are you outside at 3 o'clock in the morning with a guy? And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? So I had to go back, look at it, and I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? So I had to like really think about it. I'm like, oh my God, you're kidding me, right? So basically, in his eyes, he just like, I'm outside with this dude, and I'm just like, whole time I didn't come out here with him. Like, I came out here with my roommate. I was like, you know what? It's okay, you know, because you know, whatever. But what I didn't like was, basically, it was like an issue, and I'm just like, you could just say, you know, you thought whatever, and I could tell you what was really up, like, and you can believe me, and we can move forward. It wasn't like that, and I had a whole problem with that, and I'm just like, I'm not dealing with that. Like, I'm not gonna deal with you not trusting me. Like, I'm not even gonna do that. So, but the crazy thing is, the next reason why I'm single was that guy. Like, I think because me and my boyfriend got into it about this dude, it made him a little bit more attractive, and I was just like, well, since you already accusing me, let me just go ahead and talk to this dude. But nah, for real, it just happened that he was already a cool person. Like, I already knew him, but I wasn't looking at him like that, and until my boyfriend started pissing me off. So I was just like, Okay. So, but that was my problem, jumping in from that relationship into this next situation. I could have waited a little bit longer because it didn't come with nothing but drama. Okay. And I be thinking all the time, like, that was karma for your ass, because why you even leave this man? I don't deal with insecurities. I can't do that. Like, I can't deal with you not trusting me and all that. So I just wasn't gonna deal with that. But it was just crazy. Like, it was nothing but drama. Like, he had this girl that was like completely obsessed with him, and I'm just like, and so became obsessed with me, and it just wasn't worth it. And I'm just like, it was such a sad situation. Like, always an argument, always a fight. It was always something going on with that guy and that girl and then me. And I'm just like, I've never had someone bring me out of character so often. Like, y'all, I've never wanted to fight someone so bad in my life. That's all I'm gonna say. And we never even got to fight. That's the part that pisses me off. So here's another reason why I'm single. So there's this guy who I worked for the same company, and he is so possessive. Like, and we ain't went on no date. He does nice things, or he used to. Like, he'd wash my car, or if I need my oil change, he'd do that kind of stuff. But we wouldn't go on dates, we wouldn't hang out, we would just talk, like, on the phone and stuff. And I'm just like, that's not what I want out of a relationship. He had no time for me, but he would make time to, like, go chill with other girls that would have sex with him. And because that's not what I'm doing, it just, he ain't come see me, or I could come see him, that kind of thing. And it just pissed me off, because it was either he was at work or he was with these other girls that was gonna, give him what he wanted. And I was like, you know what, I need to deal with this or whatever. So by the time I, like, tried to stop or whatever, he's so possessive. He'll say stuff like, you better not be talking to no other dudes, somebody better not be in your bed, I'm gonna show up at your apartment. Like, it was, like, ridiculous. And I'm just like, it's like, I don't really believe he's gonna do all that. I feel like he's all his hot, but at the same time, like, you never know. So it was just annoying. And I'm just like, yo, like, that's not cute at all. And he still does that to this day. He was such a rude person. And I'm just like, I don't want no parts. I don't. We could be cool, but I don't want anything else from you. Like, nothing. Nothing. Because I made it clear from the beginning I wanted a relationship. And I felt like he ignored that. And then I feel like, but still wanted to be possessive and be like, you can't do this, you can't do that. Please know that I was dating people, like, because you are not my man, you never were. It is what it is. So I have two more because this video is, like, so long. So this next one, I'm gonna keep this short. He got comfortable too quick. So, like, when we'd hang out here at my apartment, and, like, he would turn the AC on, and, like, it'd be, like, blasting because he's hot. And I'm like, you don't touch my AC, you don't pay none of these bills. Like, he'll come in, first things first, he'll go get a drink. You drinking my liquor, turning my AC on. What bills are you paying in this house? Like, it was like, okay, he started to get too annoying. And then, like, I don't like grammatical errors, and he made one too many grammatical errors in text message. I just didn't even want to text him. And he just got way too comfortable too quick. And then, like, one time it was, like, late at night, and he started blasting music on my TV, and I'm just like, bro, it's like 11 o'clock in the middle of the week. People have work in the morning. Why do you think this is okay? He's like, I'm not blasting the music. I'm like, but you are. Like, I'm just like, and I'm like, telling him to turn it down, and he has a whole problem with that and don't want to turn it down. I'm like, whose apartment is this? Like, I started to get a little confused because I was like, what the heck? I had to let that one go. Like, it was just too much. And I was like, you gotta go. Like, you're doing way too much. And then the last person, I met him on a dating site, a different one, and we talked for hours every day, and it was so cool. Everything was all good. But then we go on our first date, right? Everything's all good on the first day and everything too. he had told me previously about like this incident where he had with the transgender. So like basically this transgender woman was messaging him on the app or whatever, and then when she gave him her Instagram, he realized that she was transgender, and so he was just like, that's not, you know, that ain't for me, that kind of thing. So when we go on our first date, we're like chilling or whatever, and like for at some point I pull on his arm, and he's like, dang, you kind of strong, and I'm just like, well, I used to be a guy, so I don't, I make corny and lame jokes. I think I've said that, and that was my corny lame joke, and he took it to heart, right? So he leaves, and he basically doesn't want to talk to me because he thinks I'm transgender, and I'm like, you're kidding, right? But I go through all this stuff to like prove to him that I'm not. I mean, I give this man my birth certificate and everything, and he still didn't want to believe that I was, right? But here's where I was confused. He would still message me on Instagram. So I was just like, okay, so you have a problem because you think I'm transgender. However, you're still trying to communicate with me on social media. And I mean, it was like consistent. So yeah, I was just annoyed with the situation because like, I'm just confused. Like, you don't want to date me no more, but you are perfectly fine with communicating with me via social media. And I just thought that was so weird to me. And I'm just like, honestly, I just got to the point where I was just like, I think you're confused with yourself. I'm just like, maybe you are still interested in me in some way, fashion, or form, and thinking that I'm transgender. So I just thought that was pretty weird, and I just was over it. And so I'm just like, stop messaging me. I have nothing to say to you, because if you think I'm transgender and you don't want to date, that I don't want no parts. Like, I don't want no parts with any of these people. But anyway, so that was just someone's here to fix my tires, so that's perfect timing. But anyway, so thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you like this terrible video of mine. Comment down below, let me know what the funniest part was for you. And last but not least, subscribe to my channel because I'm going on a ride and I'm trying to take you with me. Until next time, and y'all hating birds. I don't like birds.